Welcome to the first online Engage conference, co-hosted by Sherwood and Tigard-Tualatin school districts. This is our third year co-hosting Engage, where parents and families can come together with school district personnel to learn more about the intentional use of technology in the classroom to support student achievement, and for parents to ask clarifying questions about this use so they can better understand how to support their children at home. For those of you who prefer to have subtitles on for this presentation, either in English or auto-translated to another language such as Spanish, I'll walk you through this before we begin. The first step is to click on the CC icon in the bottom right-hand corner. This will turn closed captions on. And if you'd like this on in another language, click on the gear icon to select auto-translate and then choose Spanish or any other language. This setting will remain in place throughout the video. As we continue to refine and expand the Engage mini conference for parents, we have opted to host this particular event in a virtual platform where the presentation is recorded and the opportunity for parents to view and ask questions is not tied to a particular night. The question and answer session will be open through November 15, 2019, and the recorded session along with all the questions and answers will remain available online for future viewing. This evening we'll be covering the following topics: social emotional learning and student device use, navigating digital life, resources for parents and families, and learning tools. Some quick logistics. As we provide information and suggestions throughout this presentation, please feel free to post your questions regarding these topics. The website where you can find this presentation, the questions posted, and a Padlet where the questions are answered will be posted here at bit.ly/EngageSherwoodTTSD. Let's begin. Thank you again for attending the first online Engage conference. Let me do some quick introductions. We have Brady Strutz, the Technology Director from Sherwood School District. We have Jennifer Sapinski, a teacher on special assignment from Tigard-Tualatin School District. And we have Susan Bernard, myself, the Technology Director from Tigard-Tualatin School District. Our first topic is social emotional learning and student device use. In this topic, we'll discuss media plans and balanced use, students as self-managers, creation versus consumption, and some statistics and resources available for you as families. First, let's begin by defining social emotional learning. Social emotional learning is the process through which children and adults understand and manage emotions, set and achieve positive goals, feel and show empathy for others, establish and maintain positive relationships, and make responsible decisions. As we think about the topic of technology in our kids' hands or in the classrooms, it's hard not to disconnect the use or the concerns of technology in the classroom with social and emotional learning. Many of these areas, whether it's managing emotions or maintaining positive relationships, making responsible decisions, can be applied to the use of technology in both our hands and in our kids' hands. We'll begin first talking about how we use technology at school. First of all, the choice to use technology to promote student learning is very intentional at school. We train our teachers to use their professional judgment around the intentional use of technology when teaching. Technology should enhance a lesson and promote learning and provide opportunities for students to show what they have learned. As students grow older, these responsible decision as to when and how to use technology is transferred from the teacher to the student, so that students also learn to choose the right tool for the job. Technology is also used for creation or to express thought. It can also be used for communication in the classroom, between peers, with the teacher, or even between home and school, both by teacher and by students. Within a safe environment at school and within the systems provided, students are afforded opportunities to express their thoughts and emotions. And as any new skill, there will be opportunities where students fail or make poor choices, and this is the opportunity for teachers to intervene and guide students. Most importantly, both Sherwood School District and Tigard-Tualatin School District emphasize the intentional use of technology devices in the classroom and not as a reward or brain break. Our purpose here is to specifically differentiate between personal use and productivity use. Let's talk a little bit about at home. We have a couple of suggestions for families and parents to help find balance at home with the use of technology, including the following. Common Sense Media, one of the resources we'll bring up later on, as well as a variety of other resources, have something called a family media plan or a family media agreement. Some of these resources allow you to set time aside with kids to talk about what the expectations are in your home. For example, when, where, and how much technology is used, and determine together how this will be tracked or managed. It also can talk about homework on their technology and where it's done, charging of devices, and setting areas of the house that are screen-free. Let's take a quick look. This particular resource is from healthychildren.org. You'll find this link as well as any of the other ones presented in this presentation at the very end of the video. So healthychildren.org has information available in Spanish as well, and also linked in the presentation. Gives you an idea of how to start a media plan, or even has a media time calculator. We're going to look quickly at the create your media plan for your family. You can give your family's name, you can add multiple children, as you might have a different plan for kids that are age 6 through 12 versus your teenagers. And then it walks you through a variety of different topics and how you would like to see the use of technology in your home. This is a great opportunity for you to complete this plan with your students, with your children, so that you're all on the same page and you can negotiate and discuss how and when technology will be used so that you too can find balance in your home. In addition, you can make use of the Screen Time app built into many devices. iOS devices have Screen Time in the Settings app, and Android has something called Digital Wellbeing. Regardless of which type of device you have, talk with your child about how much time they think they're using their device before you look at this app, and then have them look at the actual time spent on their device. How close was their guess to reality? And which apps are they using? Are they using apps that just are for consuming, or are they actively creating some content and sharing it with others or talking with others? Lastly, as I so often check for myself in my own household, set a good example. When your kids are talking with you, set your phone down. When you're having dinner, make a rule to keep technology off and away and follow it yourself, most importantly. This can actually be a bit harder than you think, so show your child that you are trying as well, and that maybe together you can help bring balance into your home. Students as self-managers. Whether it's during a specific digital citizenship lesson or embedded in a lesson on how to provide constructive feedback online using comments with Seesaw or Canvas, tools you'll learn about later, students are being taught more and more about how to self-manage on their technology. This is done specifically with digital citizenship lessons, but also daily use of the device. Students are presented with real-world problems in their lessons and are faced with the responsibility of how to manage their behavior online. This could be using internet searches and staying on task, or as previously mentioned, in a school-sponsored online forum that allows students to provide feedback to one another. Not only does this give students a broader audience than just the teacher when producing work, it also provides a way for teachers to use real examples when discussing what makes feedback constructive or hurtful. We need and are teaching our students how to behave online with empathy and self-care. Both are necessary as they become contributing citizens. Many, if not most teachers and adult leaders in our school are still working on improving this experience and building their skills in this area every day. As we are not digital natives, we need time and feedback as well on how to help our students practice these skills and fail at times and then be redirected. Please help partner with your child's school in providing this type of feedback or suggestions. To help better explain the shift that's happening within our schools compared to when we were in school, sometimes an infographic is helpful. This one, which demonstrates a compliance mindset to an innovative or innovation mindset, can help adults identify what is different in today's classroom needs versus the classrooms that they experienced. We likely would all agree, especially in the context of technology in our hands, that students have a different level of access to information than we did as a child. In this graphic, it's important to note that old school versus 21st century school is not bad versus good. It's merely a way to conceptualize the difference between how schools used to run and the direction we are heading in now, in order to produce students who are ready for college or career. When many of us as parents were in school, you can likely relate to descriptors under the compliance column on the left. Memorizing, answering, teacher-centered, and teachers as content experts. In today's classroom, with information at their fingertips, with the use of technology, we are asking students to perform a different type of skills, in addition to some of those we can relate to and just discussed. New skills include being active in their learning, creating, collaborating, reflecting, and being more fluid. We are asking teachers to allow for more student-driven projects to demonstrate understanding, listening, and acting as a facilitator at times, helping students decipher what they have found online to determine its merit, truth, and fact based on the evidence. We didn't have to learn this skill so early when the information was provided us using the encyclopedia. And to complete this part of the presentation this evening, I'd like to leave you with some statistics and some additional resources for you as a parent to have in your tool belt. The topic of technology addiction, there have been numerous studies conducted to help our culture better understand how technology use may become addictive. Even more important, that we as a society help our students find balance. Common Sense Media has pulled together a variety of research studies information that could be helpful to some parents around this topic. Again, this link is provided at the end of the presentation, but this is a pretty comprehensive technology addiction concern, controversy, and finding balance. It covers the concerns, the areas to be watchful of, and also talks about what we can and cannot control. Has wonderful suggestions on finding balance, multitasking, social, emotional well-being, and some recommendations. It talks a little bit about different parenting styles and which has shown to be effective. It also talks about how to help with balance and communication in your home. So I strongly recommend you take a look. On the topic of digital parenting, Family Online Safety Institutes has a series of good digital parenting episodes that models the type of conversations you can have with your family in an effort to discuss important topics such as the use of technology, the impact it can have on others, and balanced use. Here's a quick example.
We all use the internet in different ways.
At first, I was a little worried, though, because he would come home from school, he would jump right on it. I thought he was just watching random videos. I started to get a little frustrated, honestly.
Oh, you was real frustrated. Actually, I remember when I came home and I was like, you just gotta take a deep breath. It's gonna be okay.
I did.
It was for school.
His teacher loves to post quizzes online that the students can take.
Yeah, Mom, I'm not always on YouTube.
But I'm glad I talked to you, buddy. Otherwise, you might have failed science.
No, I wouldn't. No.
Additionally, there's some resources available for social emotional learning as parents. There's some here in English as well as Spanish, and similarly some videos that model the use of conversations you can have with your children, as well as a combination of discussing the topic of social emotional learning. We'll bring this SEL work to this topic of technology in school to emphasize the importance of intentional use in the classroom, as well as help parents differentiate between personal use and instructional use of these devices, in hopes that we can all try to bring balance into our daily lives.
My name is Brady Stretz, and I'm the Associate Director of Technology at Sherwood School District. We've curated some resources for you that will support you in helping your students navigate digital life. So we've pulled together some resources from Common Sense Media. We've highlighted the digital citizenship curriculum that we're using to train our students to be mindful online. We have some student perspectives to share with you around digital citizenship. And then finally, we have some resources around data privacy that we want to share with you. First, I want to talk about Common Sense Media. This is a great one-stop shop for all things media, all things digital citizenship, and by topic, curated resources that help you guide your students through a variety of challenges. So it can help families make smart media choices. It's a library of independent, age-based, and educational ratings and reviews. And then it's got blogs that help families understand and navigate issues of raising children in the digital age. There's a link in the slideshow to the Common Sense Media website, and I want to check out a few things with you. I want to check out the TV and movie reviews, the best app lists by age, the Need to Know tab, and then the Parent's Ultimate Guide. So if we go to the website, this is what the homepage looks like. And there are sections for parents, for educators, and for advocates. We're going to look at the for parents items today. So as you can see on the homepage, they do ratings for movies, and they tell you what age they recommend for. They give a sort of a rating on the quality that they think it is. And then they have some recommendation lists that you can use when you're looking for things to do with your child as it relates to media. And what I appreciate about this is instead of just a blanket rating, they actually go into the details of what you can expect from each piece of media, and then you get to decide what you and your family are comfortable with. If we look at apps and games, there's a best app list. I know finding quality apps can be a challenge, and working to give our students something that's engaging and age appropriate and not just passive. And what I really value about Common Sense is they always have it broken into age groups, and so that helps you specifically help your students. The best piece that I could pass along today is the Parents Need to Know tab. It breaks it down by age, by topic, and it gives you ultimate guides to trending items such as Fortnite, YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok, etc. When you hear about things that are trends and you want to know more, this is a great place to go. Up next, I wanted to address digital citizenship. So digital citizenship is how we educate students on being a member of the online world. And there's a definition video here that you can check out and watch as a family. We'll talk about the curriculum we use to support this education, and then I'll leave you with a few resources as well. The first thing is digital citizenship covers 6 areas in the curriculum that we use. It talks about digital footprints, media balance, cyberbullying, online privacy, communication, and then news and media literacy. So if we take a peek at the curriculum that we use, it again comes from Common Sense Education, and it's broken down by grades, and you can filter by grade and see what kind of digital citizenship topics your student should be aware of. And they also have the 6 areas of focus listed. In each lesson, there are a variety of activities, and then there's a family engagement piece. So you may see some family engagement resources coming back to you from your child's teacher. Within this curriculum are resources for families, and it's a really great way to start conversations with your student. If you're wondering, I don't even know how to begin to address this topic, social media and devices, cyberbullying, how do I even start that conversation? If you go to this link, there are some really great resources that can help you work with your student to set expectations and engage them in open dialogue about the important issues that relate to being a digital citizen. Google also has some curriculum and a pretty engaging game. It's more targeted towards younger students, but it deals with a lot of the same important pieces of digital citizenship that the Common Sense curriculum does. And the game is called Interland, and the curriculum is called Be Internet Awesome. There's a video that can introduce you to Interland and what it looks like, and there's a link to the game here. It might be something to play alongside your student, and it's a great gamified experience for learning about digital citizenship. The next resource I wanted to point out to you is a compilation of videos from Common Sense and also from Tualatin High School of students talking about digital citizenship. It's nice to see student perspectives and see how they're engaging with the world of digital citizenship and online communities. And so I encourage you to check these resources out as well. Finally, online safety and data privacy, critically important. We sort of think about it in three big ideas. The first is digital citizenship. How can we train our students to be ethical, to be knowledgeable, and to be well-equipped to go into the online world and all of its different facets and be successful citizens? Having educated, confident students is job one in online safety and data privacy. The next step is SIPA, and SIPA is a federal law that requires all school districts to have a filtered internet, and both TTSD and SSD have industry-leading filters, ensuring that we're doing everything that we can to give our students the most safe experience online. And then finally, the third piece is FERPA, COPA, and OSIPA, and these are all acronyms for different laws that govern how companies can use student data and how they can't use it. And we take this really seriously in both districts, and we do quite a bit of resource vetting. And so what you'll want to look at is the resource menus that each district provides. And this is how we communicate with teachers and schools on which resources we recommend to trust with our student data, which are worth our time in class and which aren't. And so we do this on the back end through independent agreements with companies and also through this Oregon Alliance. I want to call out the Oregon Student Privacy Alliance. This is some really great work that's really caught on in Oregon. In the last maybe 18 months, it's really grown. And what it is, it's instead of each independent school district or school or teacher trying to read the fine print on every specific data privacy agreement for every different digital tool or website, we've come together and written a common agreement that adheres with SIPA and FERPA and COPA and OSIPA and all of the relevant federal and Oregon-specific laws. We put that into agreement and push that out to companies with digital products. And those that sign it, that agreement goes into a database that everybody can search and see, and other districts can join into that agreement. And so we've got 216 districts participating right now in Oregon, and there are 132 custom agreements statewide, and that's only going to grow. And that's a way we can make it clear to companies, here are the specific laws and rules that you need to follow if you want to do business with school districts in Oregon. And it gives a way for school districts to share, here are safe resources, here are resources that we can trust, and we can be confident that they're adhering to this student data privacy guidelines that they're supposed to. Please look through this set of the slides and check out the resources and add any questions you might have for us in the Q&A. Thank you so much.
I'm Jennifer, and I'm an instructional support teacher on special assignment, or also called an instructional coach in 4 of our elementary schools. And we're going to be talking today with some of my other colleagues about learning tools in the classroom and at home. Before we go on, I'll have them introduce themselves.
I'm Laura Resnick. I'm an instructional support TOSA for 4 elementary schools.
I'm Michelle Edwards. I'm the instructional support TOSA at Hazelbrook Middle School.
I'm Caitlin Ponzetti. I'm the instructional technology coach at Fowler Middle School.
And I'm Whitney Harvey, the instructional technology coach at Tualatin Middle School.
Great, thank you so much for joining. So we're going to be talking about accessibility, how we do support student learning in the classroom, and how you can support your student at home. And we're also going to talk about some online academic resources. So when we're talking about accessibility, we're talking about specifically voice to text, speak selection, and looking upwards on your device. So with voice to text, that's simply just students or people speaking, and then your device is going to do the typing for you. So in this screenshot right here, this is an iPad, and this is how we turn it on. So it's in the settings. In general, we toggle on speak selection. And down here, this is a Chromebook screenshot, and again, this is in settings. And in Chromebooks, it's called Enable Select to Speak. So the wonderful thing about this feature on any device is that it helps students to type. So you're just speaking, and then the device does the typing for you. So this is a screenshot of an iPad, and we've got just the little microphone that pops up just like it would on your phone. And as you're speaking, the device does the typing for you. This is a shot over here in Google Docs, and it's under Tools as well, and then voice typing. One of the things that I've seen this used for quite a bit in the classroom is for our younger students who aren't so great at typing yet. They're able to just talk and to show what they know just by talking, and then their device does the typing for them. It can also help when students are having writer's block and they can just talk to their device. It does the typing, and of course then they have to just go back and edit. What else have you all seen this used for in classrooms?
Yeah, I've seen it used many times in middle school very successfully, where students are able to, who maybe just are not that confident with their typing skills, or they're a little bit slower with their typing, and they're able to either just go to like a little area in the classroom or even step outside into the hallway. Also, I've encouraged many students to utilize this feature at home to just eliminate that barrier of taking extra time to focus on the typing and just be able to focus on the ideas and the task at hand.
So at home, if you have a student that's having a hard time getting their essay written or to just get a story started, encourage them to try just turning on this voice to text feature and just go ahead and just talk and brainstorm some ideas. So the next accessibility feature that we talked about is the lookup. And with the lookup on the iPad, it's you just tap and hold on a word, and then you've got this lookup feature, and it'll look up the word, the meaning of the word. And in the Chromebook, Laura, would you remind us how we do this in the Chromebook?
Yeah, you just highlight the word and then you right-click on it, and then you'll have the option. You can either look it up, and that'll bring up a definition right then and there. But if we move a little further down, we actually see you've got a Google search as well, so you could find images that might go along with it.
And then we did skip over the speak selection feature, and that again is turned on in settings in both the Chromebook and on the iPad. And that is if you just highlight, like in this example over here on the iPad, if you highlight a word, comes up with the prompt to speak, and it'll read the word out loud. And if you highlight an entire section, it'll read the entire section out loud. So this is great for students who might need a little bit of assistance with text being read out loud to them. And there's different types of voices that can be used. So some of them are a little bit more robotic than others, but it's a great feature to help students who need a little extra support. Any other things you might want to share with us on speak or look up?
Speak selection's great. The great choice because it'll only read what you select. As a speech page, it's going to read the entire internet page, which can be a distraction to some readers.
Yeah. All right, so these are all tools that can be used at home or in the classroom, and many times our students are using these in the classroom. So make sure that you're asking your student about these tools, and they may not remember when they get home, so you can also help them by prompting them with those questions. So the next piece we're going to be talking about is supporting your student learning. So in our students' classrooms, both in Sherwood and in Tigard-Tualatin, we use different types of learning management systems. So we've got Google Classroom, we've got Seesaw, and Canvas. And Canvas is mainly used in Sherwood, not as much in Tigard-Tualatin. But the first example that I'm going to show you is Google Classroom, and this is what it looks like from the student side. And would someone like to explain a little bit more about this Google Classroom screen?
Sure. So in Google Classroom, over here on this left-hand side, you can see that any class that your student is enrolled in will show up all in one place under this to-do column, and it prioritizes it for them, which is really great in looking at this with your child to be able to identify maybe a workflow. So I'm going to focus first on maybe what's due tomorrow and any missing work and things that are due far from now. I don't have to worry about that yet. So this is a great place to be able to go. If you go into all of the classes, you're able to see any class that your child is enrolled in, and that's where they are accessing materials and also turning in assignments.
Great. And the next piece is Seesaw. And Seesaw is used quite a bit in both school districts, in elementary, but as well, it's also used some in middle school and high school as well. And so here's an example of Seesaw for elementary school.
And so Seesaw is a really helpful tool for parents to have a real-time actual understanding of the skills that their students are learning in class. I know that since I've been back in an elementary classroom, the way they learn math is very different from how I learned it at home. So with quick videos that students are sharing or teachers are sharing with you, you can understand the strategies that they're using to help support them at home. What we see here, this is the student's learning journal. So everything that they submit throughout the day will pop up over here. As a parent, you have the capability of listening to the videos and viewing their work as if you were the teacher sitting down and viewing it themselves. It's a great connection piece for you as a parent and students and teachers to understand what is happening in the classroom on the day-to-day. This is also a great place for students to post final products so that you can see their mastery and understanding as they go through the process. So think of Seesaw as the little bumps and curves and learning, and then also those kind of proud moments at the end when they finally mastered something. You'll see kind of a combination of both of those. As parents, you also can sign up as a family and you can receive messages from teachers. This might include, hey, tomorrow's pajama day. Please make sure your child's wearing pajamas. It could be their teaching newsletter that they're sharing with you. And there's even the option to send messages back and forth. So this is a all-in-one communication tool for parents, teachers, and students.
And then the final piece that we're going to share with you about supporting your student in the classroom and at home is Canvas. And this is just an example of a parent dashboard in Canvas. And in Sherwood, all parents can get access to their child's Canvas dashboard. And so this is an example of a high school student's schedule. They have 5 different classes listed here, and then in each of these classes you can click on it and see the calendars, the assignments that are coming up, and what's happening in the classroom, and be able to ask very pointed questions to your student to see what work is coming up, where they might need support at home.
Once you get home, one of the most important things is figuring out how to support your child's learning and continue with what they're doing in the classroom every day. So we wanted to highlight some of our favorite academic online resources that are available both in and out of district. The first one we wanted to bring your attention to is Khan Academy and Khan Academy Kids. Both of these are websites that provide tutorials and videos to reteach or highlight some of the different strategies that are happening within the classroom. The difference is that Khan Academy Kids is focused more at the elementary level with simpler language and more kid-friendly videos, but they are both fantastic tools for your children. YouTube is also a great resource where your child can look for tutorials or videos or exemplar problems for them to watch and practice along with. Our favorite resource is our library resources, both in Tigard-Tualatin and Sherwood school districts. We have library websites that highlight resources such as Gale or other search databases that teachers can use for researching and presentations and reports that are vetted and have high academic value. And the final tool is Google Translate, which helps students to be able to translate between different languages. There's a plethora of languages available that they can go from English to Spanish, for example, or back and use while they're working.
Great. And so some examples of the YouTube videos that we really like is, this is one, and in this video she uses this transparent whiteboard to explain logarithms, and she uses very clear language. You can turn on subtitles that might help in English, and you can also change to different languages. So this is just a YouTube video, and I searched logarithms, and this is what came up. And you can look at the number of views and how highly rated it is, and this was a terrific one to help explain those. As far as the library websites, this is one of the library websites. This is one that's been created by our district librarian in Tigard-Tualatin, but it's accessible to any student. And we've got elementary resources, secondary resources, things in Spanish, and so on. One example, when I click on secondary resources, so this is a terrific place for students and families to go for help with homework. There's also access to ebooks here. And then if I go to the Sherwood website, they have very similar, so there's some ebooks that are accessible, some great databases for research. They also have World Book Online and so on. So those are some really terrific resources. The most important thing to remember from any of this information is that you now have some very specific things that you can ask your students. You can ask your students if they've looked at Khan Academy Kids before. Have they looked at the library resources? Are they using Google Classroom? Are they using Canvas? What does their work on Seesaw look like? So make sure that you're having those conversations with your students, and as questions come up, be sure to submit them here online, and you can always ask your teachers, and we'll be sure to get back with you. Thank you.
Thank you again for attending our 6th Engage mini conference for parents co-hosted by Sherwood and Tigard-Tualatin School District. Please remember to submit your questions by September 15th if you haven't already, and return to the site for answers to your questions and those of others. And please feel free to pass this information along to your friends and colleagues. You can find additional resources that were mentioned during the presentation in the slides to come. For social emotional learning and student device use, for navigating digital life, additional resources, and for learning tools, some resources shared during this presentation. Thank you again.
No present purpose, and yet they surface in times when the mind should